I started the recording, so we'll get started.
It didn't start yet, I guess. There it goes. We have called the meeting to order. And was there any public comment?
There was not, and the agenda was posted on our website on Friday.
Very good. Consideration of two project amendments. We have one for Nether Providence Township for a time extension through July 31st, 2023. Karen, okay.
So Delaware Providence, they were awarded a grant for $38,900 in fall of 21. So I checked in with them on the status of their project. And they got back to me and said they want to wait until winter to bid out the project and then complete construction in spring of 23 because according to the engineer in the township, bidding prices are much better in the winter. So that is their justification for requesting the extension. So they requested originally June 2023, but with paperwork and admin time, I threw out the idea of July 31st, 23 to allow for final payments to be made and hopefully just this one extension. So we would need a recommendation from the QAB to recommend that extension to our board. Matt,
Would someone like to make a motion to recommend the extension of this grant?
I'll make that motion. Send it.
A motion was made by Beth. Do we have a second?
Second.
Matt, make a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. And we'll move on to the second item. Delaware County Smedley Park Grant Award amount increase of 40% as advocated by Low Volume Road Program. Karen, would you like to?
Yeah, so this is another fall 2021 project. We helped with the development of this grant application for Delaware County. And the estimate that we were given for construction costs was far below the actual construction costs. So with approval from the State Conservation Commission, they did approve us allowing an additional 40% of Delaware County's initial grant award. So their initial grant award was $49,485.75. 40% of that is $19,794.30 for a total grant award amount, or I guess it would be at this point a grant reimbursement amount of $69,280.05. So like I said, for this particular project, the 40% was approved by the State Conservation Commission and actually had to be approved by them because it's above the old policy of 20%. They've since increased the policy to allow for 40% without the Conservation Commission approval. But this is part of the old policy, so that's why we requested the 40%. Does anyone have any questions or comments about that before we make a recommendation?
The work has been done. It just had the grant work, paperwork hasn't been submitted yet. But we haven't taken a look at it. They put the outlet structure on. They put a new pipe into Ridley Creek, put a new riprap apron, cleaned out the sediment in the water quality basin, and had planted and surrounded the entire thing with guardrail because of the problem they were having is it's isolated in the back and 40-wheel drive vehicles were using it as a mud bog and causing damage to it. And I think that's what happened to the outlet structure, which we couldn't find. It also was buried by several feet of sediment from the various floods they've had there. So the outlet's in, the pipes work, the backflow preventer is installed, and hopefully that'll make it drain a lot better. And then the spring, we will be able to go in there and do the naturalization that we have with additional grant money from some other source.
So,
You said this was Smedley Park, correct?
yes,
Okay.
Smedley Park and the county of Smedley Park, there's that Smedley Park in Middletown too, but this is for the
Okay.
Delaware County.
Thank you.
So regarding the cost, Ed mentioned that we haven't gotten all the reimbursement request documents yet, but we did receive the bid documents, so we know that the project was well over their grant award. And we do have just over $58,000 of uncommitted funds, so we definitely have the funds available to allow this additional 40%.
We have a motion to approve this increase in funding.
Make a motion.
Motion was made by Karen. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Beth. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Opposed? Hearing none. The ayes have it. Motion approved.
There is one other thing, it's not on the agenda that I wanted to talk about, that we talked about before. Edgemont Township's, I think it was their 2020 grant application. There was a situation with the prevailing wage, and I don't remember if I talked about this at the last meeting. Probably did, but they ended up not paying their contractor prevailing wage for the project because they hire their contractor to do all of the road projects within their township. They bid out the work, so they do it appropriately that way. But after working with the Department of, or the Bureau of Labor and Industry, we found out that because this particular project in Edgemont Township is receiving funds from from this particular program, they would have had to bid it out separately. And because the total project cost would have been above $25,000, they would have had to pay prevailing wage. Now, the grant award amount for Edgemont Township for this project was only about $7,000. So I think Edgemont is considering whether or not paying the difference of prevailing wage would be worth the effort. With our available funds left over, we may be able to pay the difference of the prevailing wage with permission from the State Conservation Commission. And we'd probably call our QAB together to make that motion. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's where Edgemont Township is. It is a big learning curve for both them and for us. Because even to the folks at the low volume road program, it was kind of unclear whether prevailing wage had to be paid. So right now, their grant is set to expire at the end of December. And moving forward, I would like to get this project either paid out or closed out. Because it's been a couple extensions and just a lot of back and forth. So I just wanted to let you guys know where we're at with that. So we might do one final extension and say, we gotta either figure this out and get this paid out, or we need to let us know whether you actually want these grant funds.
And as you recall, at the last meeting, the board recommended another project in this same area for Edgemont, which would not involve labor. They would just be their municipal employees installing inlet fillers, which was, what was the grant amount for that?
Like $4,000. So again, it's like a small enough amount that it's, that we feel comfortable awarding the project. It would not be prevailing wage. It would be much simpler than the issue that we're having right now. So I still feel comfortable moving forward with that since we recommended it the last meeting that we had.
Yes, I think that was the decision that's gonna be made. We're gonna move ahead with that one. And the other one is up in the air to find out which is best for Edgemont Township. Want such a small grant that they're either going to provide the prevailing wage information to us and pay the contractor that amount, or cancel the contract. And we'll move ahead with the other one.
Any questions about that? Comment? Okay. Questions, comments about anything else?
Hearing none, I guess we're in the motion for adjournment. Someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I will.
Matt made a motion to adjourn. I have a second.
Second.
Karen made the second. Are all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes. Hearing no objection, the meeting will be adjourned. Nice and easy.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice and easy. Thank you guys. And I guess I'll try and see you guys in person next time, but I apologize for not